All right, guys, here we go again. This is part two of this changing table, cherry top and painted white poplar maple drawers changing table that we did. It's a unique piece. And so we're part two. We're just going to pick it up where we left off. Where we left off here is we are just starting to make the parts for the drawer fronts and cabinet door. And so that's what Mark is doing here. We're cutting out for rails and stiles, and then we'll be routering those and so on and so forth. So there you can kind of see the profile of what we're routering out there, which is a shaker style, pretty simple style. But as you probably know, you buy, it's a router bit set for all kinds of different styles of cabinet doors to make your stiles and rails. So again, this is just a shaker style, pretty simple stuff. Okay, so there's the drawer fronts and cabinet door. Pretty simple stuff if you have the right, tools, router and stuff to do it. Not too bad to figure out. So I'm back to the UV plywood here now, ripping some pieces, and you'll see what I'm doing here. I was kind of going back and forth on how to do the legs on this box, and what I landed on was that I wish I would have just extended the box down to do kind of a skirting. So I made this box out of UV, kind of cut out, or did some decorative cutouts there that I'm doing, I should say. And so now I'm just going to put some, I'm doing some domino cuts now for dominoes, and I'm just going to domino that to the bottom of the box, and it will literally just extend the box down with those decorative cutouts. And so the face frame runs longer on the front, and so that'll overlap over the skirting that I just did, and so I will duplicate the same cutouts on the bottom. So here's the face frame already in place over the skirting that I just did, and you'll see I'm going to cut that out in a second, just marking it out now, and we'll do the same cutouts. I think I just put the drawers in place just to make sure that everything was going to lay out right, and just cleaning it up there. And so it's a little less decorative than I originally was planning, but it looks good. And here I am making some what I call skins that just go on the side. And if you remember, the box is just made out of UV, and so I just take some 1/4-inch birch and I glue it onto the side, and I put brad nails in and stuff. And so then it just makes the whole box look finished and ready to paint with nice paint grade birch. Okay, all right. Pretty good morning here. I just have the drawer fronts and cabinet door laid on there, kind of loose laid. Just kind of, I like the picture, see what it's going to look like. But we got the face frame attached. We got our little skirting built, which if I would have planned better could have been part of the original box. But anyways, yeah, it's looking good. Probably there's some people out there that are really good at making furniture, and they're going to say, geez, what a clunky way to do that. That's just how like a cabinet guy would do it, and that's probably true. this could be much more efficient. But it is it is well built. It'll just be a little heavy. So that's done for now. I'll get that ready for paint. So if you can see back there, we have the top, the top of the unit and the tray, which is just loosely fit on there. That's made out of cherry. So hopefully that'll be a nice accent to the white wood. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to domino the bottom of that and fasten it to the cherry, and then do some final prep. And then we're pretty much ready to lacquer that, or however I decide to finish it. Then we got to paint and prime that white. Then we got drawers. This is hard when it's backwards. We got drawers over there that also need a finish on them. So finishing touches here, and then it's all down to a few days of intermittent finishing and waiting for dry, and then this sucker's done. So and it's people are waiting on it because the baby came early. So here we go. So I was just giving the unit a final cleanup, just centering it on the top there where I want it, and then I go around and just mark where I want the dominoes every so often on the tray and on the flat top. And so I'll pull the top back off, and I'll extend my marks out there, and then I'll use a block to offset them, because it's tricky to just plunge with the domino when there's nothing to go by. So got my marks in place, and then I can go around and do all the dominoes, and then I using that same marks on there, and it's all dominoed out. All right, got the drawers here. I got the cherry top. We're just about to start finishing this. It's like 10 below outside, so I'm just gonna use polyurethane so I don't have to spray lacquer and vent everything and pull in all that cold air. But what I'm gonna do first, I have the drawers upside down, so I'm gonna just spray some shellac or any kind of sealer on the bottom, give it one good coat, and then we'll flip it over, and then we'll start with the real coats on the finished side. But even the unexposed stuff, I like there to be at least one coat of some sort of sealer. I got 2 coats of lacquer on the drawers, that's a shelf. And then there's our cherry top, which is coming along nicely. It looks really good. Okay, so over there we have our box with the face frame on it, the dresser part of the changing table, and then the drawer fronts and cabinet door. So I'm gonna paint the stain blocker on those. And I probably showed you guys before what I use for that. But I'll show you again quick. I think I have it in here. Kind of doing my own camera work today, but so I use this stuff from Sherwin-Williams, this Extreme Block. Just even like a nice smooth wood like poplar, you still got to block it. It just, the wood will bleed through. This is the oil-based version. They also have a water-based version, which works pretty good too, but I usually use the oil base blocker. I'll do usually just one good coat of that, and then I will switch to a water based alkyd urethane paint, and I like to do a gloss for this type of thing, cabinets and furniture and stuff. So here we go. Hey, little side note here. I pour this paint right into the gun and started spraying it, but it's not on tape here, but I poured it back and diluted it, because I always dilute that 10 or 15% when I'm going to spray it through the HVLP. It's a lot smoother coat than a little less of like an orange peel effect, micro orange peel. The drawers are done. They have 3 coats of lacquer, and that's a shelf. And then we have our top for our changing table. And it's made, I don't know if I said this before, it's made just to fit this cool little cushion from Pottery Barn. And so this has 3 coats of lacquer on it also. And it's been drying for a day or two. The longer the better, but I'm in a hurry, so I'm going to do the last step, which is I take a little bit of this finishing wax, and it comes in light or dark. This is dark, obviously. And usually I use that with the 4-0 steel wool, which is the least abrasive. So it's just barely abrasive, and you put some of the wax on it. You just give it a good rub down, and it knocks down any of the little high spots or little dust or whatever they got in the finish. And just smooths it out, and it makes it real nice. And then I'll take a cotton rag and just clean up any excess, because I don't actually want wax to come off on your hand or anything like that. But so I saw these at the store when I was there, and I'm going to try this instead of the steel wool. And it's a 3M finishing pad, basically. It's supposed to be for the same type of thing. So kind of buff it out. So I'll see how that works. And I got my cabinet drawer fronts and doors hanging up over there. Got those all painted. If I started, as you probably saw already, I started with those just laying on sawhorses. And I like doing those that way because I like spraying flat and drying flat. But then you got to flip it over, and really you should wait, a day or two in between that, so you don't mark up. You got to wait for the finish to cure. Anyways, long story short, I decided to hang them up just to accelerate the process. Then you can do both sides at a time, and so on. So we've got one coat of the stain blocker, the primer, on there, and 2 coats of that water-based alkyd urethane. And so they're dry, but they should set up a little bit longer. So I'm gonna give that a rub down with the wax, and I will pull out kind of the cardboard that I have blocking the inside of that dresser part, and then I'm gonna put the cabinet hardware, or the drawer sides in there, the hardware. And so we'll get this sucker all put together. This thing is going in the upstairs of an older house with a pretty tight stairway. So I think I'm going to wait to put the top on it until we get out there. And so we'll get some footage of on site too, so you guys can just finish this whole journey, as exciting as it is. So I'm going to get to work now. Here we go. It's in place.
Hey.
A little touch up. Are you still recording?
Yeah.
This is the first time this has ever been on top of there.
Oh my goodness.
Alright guys, that's it for part 2, and that's it for the changing table videos. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Lots of good stuff coming down the pipe. See you then.